Hey there, this is Atul from Team K29 Academy, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how to design, build, deploy, and manage intelligent AI agents. And with that, Agentic AI Mastery Program, in that we'll be covering everything that you need to know and how you become an expert in this. So with that, let's look at what you're going to expect is I'm going to give you this complete roadmap for targeted for complete beginner in AI agents to go from complete beginner to an expert as well. We'll also talk about what this program is, what is the main objective of this program, what are the learning outcome once you complete this, what will be the outcome of that, and also including the framework and technologies, libraries, everything that we're going to use in this program. Also, we're going to give you the two bonuses, which are, or in fact, four bonuses, which I have not mentioned, two others, which is a surprise, which we'll be talking towards end, including the weekly curriculum path, what you should be doing, both in terms of theory as well as practical, including hands-on lab, module by module. And then towards end, also we're going to give you the 5 projects which will help you in writing in your resume as an experience, as a proof of concept based on the job description. That will be helpful. So it will be handy on points where someone says, hey, I don't have any experience, but employers are asking for experience. So we'll be giving those 5 projects as well. And in the end, then I'm going to cover some of the most common questions covering in the context of journal about the program overview. We'll also be looking at curriculum and the content, why we have done it specifically and how it has helped hundreds and thousands of individuals like you. We'll also be talking about what are the practical applications we are going to use and implement on those tools and technologies, including some of the career related, how it will help in your career and lots and lots of those questions as well. But first of all, I want to first highlight to you is that this program works and I'm going to give you some of the results which people have got. So to that, this is not just theory, it's actual implementation where people have got results. So this is one Debashish, and you can pause this video if required and read the full recording or full what he has to say. But Debashish got a job as a AI engineer. This is another one, Shrija, based in Canada, from struggling to find a job in Canada for a long time to landed a job in AI machine learning in January 2025. This is SJ. She and her husband joined the program, and her husband got a job, and she almost doubled her salary in US. This is Dinesh from India working as a technical program manager. So if you're working you can get a job as a technical program manager, which doing things. Or this is Kennedy on the UK working as a senior technical advisor, or Joby struggling to get interview calls to get multiple interview calls like that, including things like someone like Meghna from career break to getting working with the British Telecom. And I have tons and tons of guys, just Irina or Kwame or Winfred, Daniel, Vishali, Obina, hundreds and hundreds of individuals like you. So this program works as well. Now, this is what makes, and I'm going to go back to and giving the exact things what you should be learning. But this is a program which we do. And so what makes us different or what makes us best in the program is this is 4.8 rating out of, I think, at the time of recording this 700 plus reviews on Google. This is one of the program a member has to say about is that support is at the fingertip, and we get two support channel, which is WhatsApp and email with the ticketing system. So we'll be talking about also stuff is always available and posting event and so that we don't miss out the session. So we do live interactive sessions. So he's talking about not missing out. We're notifying both on a WhatsApp channel as well as the email and so on, and the community as well. Trainers are exceptionally good. So you're going to learn from multiple trainers. We give you unlimited retake over the next 1 year because this agentic AI keeps changing and new things are coming. We constantly update the program. So we have multiple trainers based on the expertise of each particular topic or more advanced topics or bonus sessions that we run. So trainers are exceptionally good and command over the subject and very supportive in asking questions. So the sessions are going to be live interactive, so you can ask tons and tons of questions. Also, we have a community where you'll be having access, and which is a portal, and you can keep following the courses if you couldn't join live, which means if you're not able to join live, there'll be recording available, so you can watch. Also, the previous batch sessions will be available on that. Also, on top of that, we offer the bonus classes and giving you additional benefits of bonus sessions or bonus programs, which you'll see towards, and I'm going to talk about what are bonuses you'll be getting from this as well. So overall, amazing and exceptional. So this is, instead of me telling you, I thought probably hear from someone who's already done in this program as well. Now, these are some of the other clients as well. Salim Merchant is very experienced teachers. They're best for us, even for beginners. Also here, Oksana and support, excellent support communication, very professional. Joshua very experienced instructors and good support system and job focus. Honey John, like that, just pause and read that out. We have tons and tons of results as well. And this is very quickly about, and then I'm going to go and give you the whole path about this whole thing about how you're going to learn or what all things you should be learning in Agentic AI. Now, as I said, weekly live interactive sessions. Sessions currently typically rotate between, typically they happens on the weekends, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but and I'll come back to this point on what makes us best in terms of once I give you the path, and I'll come back to this session, this slide as well. Now, everything that I'm going to talk about, I'm 100% confident on this program, and that's why you have 60 days. You try it out, do, and as long as you attend the sessions, complete the hands-on lab and ask for help. And if you think it's not worth, you have 60 days to try it out as well on this. Now, with that, before we go forward, very quickly about me. For those who don't know me, I have close to 2.5 decades of IT experience, and I've worked with all sort of different clients across the globe. These are some of the clients which I've worked both in Europe, in UK. I'm based in London, and these are the clients I've worked in UK, including the companies in US remotely, and as far as Bank of Somalia and Ghana and Middle East and so on. But these are some of the clients which I've worked, as I said earlier. Now, I have gone from earning less than $100 a month. These are my pay slips, salary slips on earning back in 2000, 2001, 2002. I moved to UK in 2004 and then started working my freelancing and contracting in 2005, end of 2005, working starting with 425 pounds a day to 500, 700, 900, and in excess of 1,000 pounds a day. So it's totally possible and doable. And I cover in a three-step framework to go from learning all the things, become an expert in a project-based learning. That's step one. That's what you're learning. We also have a step two and step three bonus, which is about LinkedIn resume preparation, interview preparation, so that you earn a good money. And remaining things, so I'm going to cover in a minute, but let's begin with, first of all, this whole thing about design, build, deploy, and manage intelligent agent. So what you're going to expect in this case is about, we go with complete beginner. Phase one is about covering the basics and concepts. We'll talk about what is generative AI, large language models, foundation models, prompt engineering, RAG, and LangChain. So this is phase one where you understand the basics. And then go with the phase two about agents and agent architecture, some of the libraries and frameworks, things like LangChain, LangFrame, LangSmith, understanding AI architecture, and so on. And then whole different type of agents, their architectures, multi-agent frameworks, and so on. Then we are going to look at the tools where we are actually going to build the AI agents, and building AI agents using tools, different type of tools, including no code, low code as well, like N8N or Zapier and so on. Also, we're going to look at, then we're going to go and build more advanced agents, multi-agents, and this is where we'll go RAG-based, agentic-based applications. So we're going to building them, and we're also going to look at Crew AI, which is a no-code tool as well. And then finally, once we have done, we learn how to deploy them, how to manage them, how to operate them, how to secure them, and to scale those using tools like LangSmith and LangFuse and other tools, including deployment on the cloud, which is AWS and Azure cloud, multi-cloud deployment as well. So before I go and look at and go a little bit deeper into what all things you'll be learning step by step and what is the learning objective of this, first, where the common question comes is, why should I even learn about this as well? And this is where very quickly AI is 1.3 trillion market size, and with that the agentic AI, which is a subset of AI which is growing exponentially. You might have seen, you might be talking about, you've seen the news all over the world. All the big tech leaders are saying that AI is going to disrupt, and which is already started happening, and it's all in all the domains as well. In the next few years, 69 million jobs are going to come from AI, and pretty much every domain is entered in, including finance, telecom, healthcare, legal, you name an industry, they are now started using AI. And jobs are everywhere, right from leadership roles to your AI project manager, program manager jobs, technical project manager, technical program manager jobs, architecture related if you're working as an architect, administration, support, system administrator, MLOps, DevOps job roles are available, which is DevOps transitioning to MLOps now. So there are developer roles as well as testers, QA, including the business analyst role. So there are tons and tons of job roles available. With that, let's look at this program on objective. So objective is for you to equip you to design, build, deploy, manage autonomous AI agents on frameworks and using tools like using and building LLM-based applications with the tools like LangChain, LangGraph, RAG, VectorDB, Crew AI, Langsmith, and attain Zapier. These are the objective for you to become an expert. Now, what is the learning objective? You have to first understand and implement LLMs, which is a large language models built on top of foundation models. And we'll see what all LLMs we're going to look, including prompt engineering. You'll be building RAG, which is a retrieval augment generation based systems from scratch. If you have no idea about RAG, we're going to cover the concepts as well. Then also we are going to look at how do you design, deploy, and implement an AI agent, including LangChain, LangGraph. These are the two very common libraries which are available or frameworks available within Python based applications as well. We'll also design and implement multi-step AI agent for including a memory so that you can retain what client has started their journey on, including planning and how to use those tools. And as I said, other tools like which are N8N, Make, Zapier, these are workflow based or automated system based tools that we're going to also look at. We're also going to create an adaptive self-improving agents for practical business use cases. And in the project which you're going to do, you're going to learn some of those implementations. Now, if you look at the frameworks, we're going to use LLMs, which is large language models, and we're going to work some of the large language models which are commonly used GPTs. You might have heard of Chat GPT 4 or 5 now at the time of recording 5, which is from OpenAI. You also will be learning on LLM Gemini from Google, or Hugging Face, or Claude from Anthropics, or Llama from Facebook, or Grok from X. So you'll be learning how to connect to these APIs of these LLMs, and how do the agents will be talking to these things as well. We'll also be looking at LangChain to orchestrate multi-step agents with workflows. Also RAG, as I said, including vector databases, and which is a Facebook FAISS vector databases to enhance the performance of the AI models. We go to also, as I said, LangGraph for multi-agent, more advanced work, the agents that are going to learn. Also, then we're going to look at Langsmith and Langfuse for deployment, management, and improving the performance, evaluating the performance of AI agents as well. Now, on the bonus, we're going to give you this one more bonus, which I'll be covering towards the end, or in fact, two more bonuses. Apart from these two bonuses, which is we are going to learn also how to deploy AI agents on AWS and Microsoft Agent Cloud, and how those they themselves also have tools for AWS. There's a Bedrock, and Bedrock is an AI service or a generative AI based application built or application service. Within that, there is an agent service. So we are going to look and work on AI agents on AWS Bedrock. And then similarly on Microsoft Azure Cloud, they have AI Foundry, which is a AI development platform. In that, they also have a AI agent service. So you're going to learn how to build, deploy applications using AI Foundry. These are the two bonuses. Apart from there are two more bonuses, which I'm going to reveal that in a minute shortly as well. So this is the weekly curriculum going to be, and this is you can leverage in your learning. So first we'll begin with, as I said, concepts. We'll be learning, understanding what is an AI, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is generative AI. Then within generative AI, we have also LLMs, foundation models, prompt engineering, understand the concepts. And then we're going to do some labs. We are going to actually connect APIs, which is an application programming interface. And if you're not a developer, don't worry. I'm not a developer. And a lot of guys who come to the program are architects, leaders, project manager, program managers. You don't need to do the coding, but you need to understand what an API is so that you can talk in the language of when you're talking the project. So we'll be looking at how to create. It's very simple and easy. Think of it like a keys connect to the open AI GPT models or Gemini models or Grok or Hugging Face and so on. We'll be also accessing these models, large language models, for simple use cases like text generation, summarization, chat completion, and so on, which will be used in future labs. So this is we are going to cover in this here. Then module 2 is all about the fundamentals, LangChain, which is a framework and library. See, LangChain and LangGraph, we're going to focus more on those. So we'll be covering and beginning with fundamental of LangChain. Now, I speak very, very fast, so slow it down. Or if you're thinking I'm going fast, slow, you can speed up this, you can increase the speed as well on this video. So components of what are the component modules within LangChain, and then we're looking at the different templates and also looking at the LangChain's expression language LCEL, and also what an LLM chains are, how to build those chains, and we're going to do these labs. Now, how we're going to do these labs is we are going to use a there's a service available from Google. We are going to use that to run all these things. So all you need is a simple browser based, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper into some additional things on in terms of. So we are going to set up an environment, and we'll initialize this LangChain language. Everything you're going to do it from the browsers. You don't need to do anything on your laptop. If you want, you can build or set up a development environment, but we're going to do everything from a graphical user interface on this. Now, Module 3 is all about prompt engineering, and this is where we're going to go for more advanced prompt. Everything that you're going to build in AI agents, majority of that work or AI-based applications will be behind the scene. You'll be having prompt engineering. So we'll look at prompt patterns. There's a things like persona patterns, question and refinement pattern, cognitive verify pattern, audience pattern. We'll also look at more advanced prompt engineering techniques like zero shot, no, few shots, chain of thoughts, tree of thoughts, and then will be reasoning and act-based prompting, React, because we're going to use some of these things in our AI agents later. And we'll go to also using how to use LLMs as a judge. And we're going to perform these labs right from designing a persona-based prompt pattern or zero shot or a few shot chain of thought using different LLM models and implementing advanced prompt techniques. We'll also look at multimodal prompting, where you're not multimodal is where you do more than one model, which is not just text. It could be video, it could be image, it could be different generative models. So that's about basic module 3. In module 4, we're going to go a little bit higher. We're going to build RAG, which is a retrieval augment generation, which is pointing to your customer specific data or the data that is being generated for a specific for a client, so that it gives the or AI agent is going to be intelligent so that it can read the data specific to your use cases or your data. And that we are going to look at things like how to ingest and data ingestion, including the document loader to connect. We'll also looking at how to split the test because it could be huge amount of data. How do you split that, create embeddings, and then integrate with vector databases, including retrieval augment generation. So these are the labs we're going to actually implement and work on that. Module 5 is all about agentic AI essentials. This is where you're going to look at what is AI agent, agentic AI. How is it different from traditional AI or AI agents or some of the other questions you might have different on. We'll also be looking at what are the building blocks of agentic AI and then autonomous agents as well as human in the loop. This is going to be more theory-based module. And we'll also talk about multi-agent AI systems, how they're done, how the architecture look like, and so on. Now, module 6 is actually implementing those what you've learned. So we're going to build no code, low code agents. So what is no code AI agent means and what are the key components, benefits, how do you design them, how do you integrate those with existing systems, and then optimizing the performance of no code. The challenge with low code is sometimes they're good for basic use cases, but as you enhance, performance might degrade. So how do you increase and improve the performance? And we're going to use tools like N8N and Zapier to integrate your AI agents on a graphical user base to build the workflows as well. Now, module 7 is all about architecture, and this is for those if you're working as an architect, solution architect, application architect, enterprise architect, how to design the agentic AI architecture and design patterns. So how the typical look like, the key components of agentic AI framework, the React and multi-agent patterns, including how do you build and design these systems as well. So this is again more theory architectural based so that you understand and when you're building the solutions, you can show to your clients how you build them as well. Now, module 8 is all about actually building those AI agents that you've learned conceptually in previous modules and then build using LangChain and LangGraph. So what those are, including extending some of the concepts that you've learned in memory management and long-term management. So this is where you're going to build an AI agent using LangChain, also using end-to-end implementation using LangGraph. Module 9 is all about RAG, which is about what does RAG actually mean. In module 1, we covered the basic. This is where we're going to go a little bit deeper into how does a agentic RAG architecture look like? What is a adaptive RAG and its variant, including where are these uh, RAGs or agentic AI RAGs are being implemented, and then we are going to do a lab on actually implementing the agentic RAG and building the more advanced RAGs using LangGraph and the RAG that you learn. Now, module 10 is about more advanced, which is a multi-agent. One agent is good. One agent you can chain multiple LMs, multiple workflows, external systems and so on. In this module 10, we are going to go into multi-agent framework, and we are going to use LangGraph and CrewAI. LangGraph is more for a command line, like basically the programming and coding, whereas CrewAI is more about graphical interfaces. So we'll look at how does multi-agent workflow look like, some of the use cases, implementations, including how the agent collaborate with each other in a multi-agent framework. There are multiple ways to implement that integration or communication we'll be talking about. And then how do you set up CrewAI and integration part? So this is where we're going to do these labs on implementing multi-agent using LangGraph, using CrewAI, as well as building agents and testing these workflows with Crew actual testing as well. Now, module 11 is all about deployment, testing, evaluating the performance, and day-to-day monitoring of these agents. This is where we're going to use LangFuse as well as LangSmith. These are um, two you can say libraries and platforms we're going to use. We're going to set up an environment on LangFuse to monitor the agent performance. We'll also look at AI observability, so logging, monitoring, troubleshooting, performance, security, all those things we're going to look at using on a LangSmith platform. So you know mainly if you're managing this so that you have a end-to-end implementation. Now there are two other things which are coming. There's A2A and MCP. So this is where we're going to look at the more advanced topic from MCP and A2A, two protocols which are happening on orchestrating and making AI accessible to pretty much everything, which is democratizing AI agents. So this is where how does a M2B, M2C, sorry, MCP and A2A protocol look like, their architecture, and then actually we are going to build an agent on with MCP server. So all the components and actually do it as well. Now, this will be more than enough for you to learn and understand on so that you start getting joined. Very comprehensive program that you see. Now, with that, we are going to go, we don't stop there. Lots and lots of these companies are now already using cloud to run their AI, machine learning, data science, normal work for their infrastructure, IT infrastructure. So they want to leverage that existing solution. So that is why we give you one of the most in-demand cloud providers, which is AWS and Azure. So AWS has a service for generative AI-based applications called Bedrock. In that Bedrock, they have, so we're going to look at the AI agents on AWS. So first of all, we're going to look at what are the AWS AI services. There are tons of them. Which one is used for what? And then we're going to look and go deeper into AI Bedrock agent. So this is where we create a free account if you don't have on AWS Cloud. And then if you have, how to enable the foundation. If you already have, you can use that same account. How to enable the foundation model and then in Bedrock, and then how do you build AI-based AI agents on that Bedrock. Now, similar to that, Microsoft has a cloud Azure, Microsoft Azure. In that, they have multiple services as well, AI, machine learning, data science, generative AI related services. We're going to look at the full picture of that AI agent services on Microsoft Azure. We're going to look at within that, there's an AI Foundry. In that, we're going to go deeper into AI Foundry, and we're going to build AI agent-based applications in that AI Foundry. And this is the hands-on lab. We create a free account. We create AI agents, simple AI agent using AI Foundry. We're going to enhance that, but right now, then enhance that particular AI agent and use some custom functions. And then finally, we're going to develop. There's a semantic kernel SDK we're going to leverage. Some of the clients have used in the past, so that's why we've added this lab as well. Then we're also going to develop a multi-agent solution using AI Foundry, and also we're going to connect multiple AI agents onto tools using MCP server on Microsoft Azure Cloud. So this is all you're going to learn. And as I said, there are two more bonuses which is surprise to you, which I'm going to cover once I talk about the commonly asked questions, including the projects. Now, you're learning, this is hands-on lab, but the actual journey is you should be able to show to your potential clients saying that you have done these things in a real world scenario. And that's why we cover 5 projects, which are specific to different industries. First, we're going to do it as an HR, an employee for for your employee onboarding, and same process you can use for other onboarding, maybe client onboarding or maybe different type of onboarding we can think about. So this is where we're going to be automating an employee onboarding process using AI agent. The second, so these are things you're going to do, are able to implement that. I'm not going to go deeper. You can pause this, you can read this, and below this video, I'm going to talk about, we'll put down link to this video, to this document, so you can check and review and read that further on this. We're going to also look at the AI-powered financial advisor. This is for financial industry. We're going to build an AI-powered financial advisor to provide a recommendation for an investment. So if you're applying for a company for a job which are doing in a financial sector or a banking sector or a finance sector or fintech, you'll be able to show them. Then we are going to, for this is a for legal document uh, uh, legal document analysis. In that, we're going to develop an AI agent for legal professionals to analyzing and summarizing the legal document, so that they can recommend what to suggest to their client based on that agent will be doing. We're going to look at fourth project about healthcare, because these are healthcare are more in demand as well. So we're going to create an AI agent to assist healthcare professionals in diagnosing medical conditions based on the patient data that you're going to get. It'll also read, this is where the RAG, a lot of these things project you will see RAG will come into handy. So it'll read that data specific to your client that you are giving. So we'll teach how to integrate that as well. And then final project is about e-commerce support on building an AI agent for e-commerce. Now, you don't need to do all of them to start looking for the job, as long as you do one or two, and then uh, as your interviewer asks you for the job help, you provide those, or you do more as being asked in the interviews depending on. So that's pretty much very, very comprehensive program, and I've given a very detailed answer. But then we come some of the common questions as well. Now, majority of these questions or majority of the questions will be covered by this, but still have any questions, you can reach out to my team who will be helping you. There'll be help available somewhere on this, but make sure that please go through this video first, maybe twice. There's a high probability questions are covered. If not, as we get new questions come, we'll be putting it below in the respective session. So watch that again or read that again before you come to this or asking for help or further questions. So the first question is about what are the key learning objectives. I think I've gone very detailed, but still read out. The simple terms is you should be able to implement, build, design, build, deploy, implement, manage the AI agent. Everything that you need to know is covered inside the program. Anything that you think is required, please come, more than welcome. I'm going to enhance the program as long as it's being implemented in the real world or being asked in the interview, as long as it's related to AI agent. Now, how will this program help in a real world AI agent development and deployment? I've already mentioned everything that you need. We are going to cover not only design, also implement, develop, implement, deploy, manage. Everything is covered, including one of the two common real world implementation, cloud implementations, both AWS and Azure. And if you have something specific custom, just bring it us and we'll do every effort to make sure that we include in that current batch. If not, we'll do it in the next batch before the next batch starts. So we repeat, and you get unlimited retake over the next 1 year as well. Now, again, I'm not reading these, but you can read that. I'm going to add what I think I can add value as well. Now, what program or languages and tools will be used throughout this course? Now, very good question. We are going to use Python programming. Primarily, we are going to use Python, which is a very, you know, widely used in demand skill to learn. Now, some of you guys, my friend might be saying, oh, I'm not a developer. Totally fine. Don't need to know the coding or programming. You need to know enough to do how these libraries and frameworks work and how this works programmatically behind the scene. You don't need to do code and program. Now, before you say, I don't know any Python or programming, don't worry. As I said at the start as well, we're going to give you this we are going to give you this bonus class about. So with that brings me to another point about, as I said, before I go on this thing, you're going to get a bonus, which is AI, machine learning, generative AI, and agentic AI for beginners as well. So this is where we cover everything from a beginner's point of view, from complete new. What is LLM? What is foundation model? What is feature engineering? What is RAG? What is TensorFlow? What is PyTorch? What is NumPy, Panda? Some of the common things you might have heard but don't know. We're going to cover all these things inside a beginner friendly program that you're going to get as a bonus. We're also going to look at things like CNN, RNN, machine learning, deep learning methods, and so on. We're going to also give you the entire Python because we think it comes very handy, and this has helped a lot of our clients. So this is the learning path you'll be getting, that as well as a bonus, which is not even covered earlier. So you'll get entire Python program, which we sell it probably in excess of $2,000 about this Python program, where we go and talk about everything. You'll also get all the modules, videos, lessons, live interactive session, including the previous batch recordings. So you can watch them before you come to the class as well. Also including interview questions for Python. So quite comes very, very handy on that. Now, other thing, which before I go back to the question, typically IT professionals with AI skills earn 47% higher. This is a study done by AWS, which is being mentioned here. Now, so if you're not a developer and coder, you still knowing of libraries and framework will be helpful, and we're going to cover and explain you and guide you in very simple terms on what is happening behind the scene. Also, there is a no code, low code tools. As I said, we've also mentioned Crew AI, which is a graphical user interface. We'll be learning and teaching that as well. Another question is, hey, are you going to focus on a specific type of agents, or whether it's autonomous, conversational? We are going to focus more on autonomous AI agents, because and including multi-agent frameworks or systems, because that's commonly used. That doesn't mean that we are not going to cover conversational. We are going to cover conversational agents as well. So anything and everything related to AI agent. But if anything new comes, we'll be including that as well. And if you have something on your own, bring that as well. As I said, we're going to do every effort in the current batch, but if not, next batch definitely will be covering, and you'll be getting free access. Now, how does this program compare with other AI agent programs, training programs? Now, everyone says that their program is good, but one thing I can promise you is that a couple of things which I already mentioned. No one can go as comprehensive as we are going. But if you think something is missing, something is there in someone else's program, as long as related to AI agent, will put it there. Just let us know. Now, other thing, as I said, also I want to highlight about as well what my some of the clients that I say and what makes us different. As I said, at the start as well. So this is where you have a weekly live interactive session. There's a well done videos available before the class itself. So when you come to the class, you can watch. These are totally optional, but when you watch them and come into the class, you can ask more intelligent questions. Now, you also have opportunity to ask questions in the live session at each logical point, and we also have doubt removal sessions during the weekdays and weekends. We also have unlimited retake over the next 1 year. And why it's useful and beneficial is that when you learn first time, you only get 90, around 80 to 90% you grasp. And then you come back second time, you go probably around 97, 98%. Also, uh, Agentic AI is changing very, very fast. So anything new comes, we will be incorporating in the next batch as well. You can come back again. There'll be also post-session recording, so you can watch a recording at your own pace whenever you want to watch. There's also WhatsApp and ticketing system. You can there are two support channels. So so that WhatsApp is for something we can answer quickly. We'll answer them. This is where you also get notified about the sessions, though there is already a planned schedule ahead, so you can watch them. But just in case, a reminder on WhatsApp. Also, there's a ticketing system where anything that is not resolved within a couple of hours, we track it via the ticketing system, so you can manage it, you can see and make us accountable. Also, we keep our program regularly updated, so you'll see enhancements regularly. Also, there's a very extensive hands-on labs that you've seen. We go very, very deep into those labs. They'll be detailed and including the project work, also live. We're implementing some of those projects work as well. And as I said, it's not 1, 2, 3, 45 plus happy clients that we have. And just to cover and say peace of mind, you get a full money back guarantee of 60 days, which is more than enough to attend the sessions, complete hands-on lab project, and then ask for help as long as you do that. And if you think it's not worth, we don't deserve your money. That's why I cover full. That's how confident I am on this program as well. And why? Because we have tons and tons of guys I've already mentioned got result. This is already highlighted very clearly. This is also mentioned Shalim, Joshua, Honey, Oksana. We have hundreds of guys like that of got value. So that's why definitely worth compared to. Now, curriculum and content, I'm not going to go. We have already mentioned. There's a very comprehensive module and mentions I've already mentioned with you. Now, are there any prerequisite? Come with an open mind. Everything that you will need, I've covered in that way, given bonus as well. Now, two bonuses which I mentioned at the start, which probably might give it and say this is one was about this Python, and second was about AI, machine learning, generative AI for beginners. We'll give both of these so you covered everything. Now we are going to do two things on AWS and Azure cloud. So anything related to when you're implementing on AWS or Azure cloud, that's also will be given. So come with an open mind. All you need is a mindset to learn. Everything will be covered for you here. Now, will I get a hands-on experience? Absolutely. You've already seen that very extensive hands-on project-based driven. How are the development, deployment, management process structured in curriculum? So we'll give you a step-by-step guide. You're going to do on there's a service from Google. On that service, you're going to perform on something called as notebooks, which is step-by-step instructions you'll get and you execute, and there'll be explanation of those. Some part will be doing on AWS cloud, some part will also be doing on Azure cloud. How those are also covered on that. So you've covered on that deployment, or will also be doing, might be doing on Langsmith and Langfuse. We'll be covering those as well on tools for you. Now, does this program cover AI ethics and responsible AI when building? Absolutely, yes. This is very, very important, especially companies ask for. If you're a project manager, if you're an architect, you need to incorporate ethics and responsible AI. So we have AI principles. We'll be covering those inside the program as well. And so things like guardrails, things like biasness, fairness, transparency, those things are covered as well. Now, practical implementations, what kind of projects? I've already mentioned the projects that we are going to cover. Will I be able to develop a fully functional AI agent by end of this program? Absolutely. That's the whole objective of fully functional AI agent. How will program help me in address the challenges related to scaling the AI agent? So we also have a module about how do you scale that AI agent. So what are the best practices, including these are some of the things that you're being asked in the interview. So it'll be covered multi-agent observability tools as well. Now, best practices for managing and maintaining, we'll be covering that as well on Langfuse, Langsmith, and through cloud-based architectures, we'll be covering point as well. Now, tools, I've already mentioned on this. We currently have AWS and Azure. We have in future, we are planning to use GCP as well, but at the time of recording this, we are only doing AWS Azure. But if we see enough demand, we might add GCP, which is a Google Vertex as well on. Also, we'll be new things that are coming. We'll be incorporating on like A2A and MCP, which I already mentioned. Um, we are going to, as I said, we are going to cover LangChain and LangGraph as now. Are there any training on using AI agent in a multi-cloud environment? Absolutely. This is where you're going to look at AWS and Azure. We'll be implementing those as well. Uh, how will I be able to monitor and optimize the performance of deployed agent? This is where we're going to use Langfuse for performance monitoring and Langsmith for model evaluation and best practices for continuously optimizing the model, which is very, very important. Now that's for technical. I'm more interested on career, how it will help me in career and future prospecting. So what kind of roles I'll be able to apply for after completing this program. So we have things like AI, you'll be able to apply for the jobs like AI developer, agent developer. This is all specific to agent. So AI agent developer, AI engineer, AI architect, AI consultant, AI solution architect, AI technical program manager, project manager, QA, which is missing from here, we'll be updating this, quality assurance, DevOps, which is now incorporating towards MLOps, which will be coming into AI agents as well. So as long as related to AI related, those are the kind of jobs, business analyst and so on, you'll be able to perform. Now, next is, will this program help me in recognizing any certification to boot my prospect? So first thing I want to tell you is, as far as I know, there's no, right now at the time of recording, we don't have any just for agent certification, any certification specific to AI agent. But if you have, do bring to our attention. We'll incorporate that specific to AI agent. We do have other AI related certifications like AWS AI practitioner or Azure AI 900, AI 102. Those are separate things. This program is focused mainly on hands-on project based, and that will help you in job as well. But as I said, if you uh, whatever you're going to learn will help in other certifications, AI-based certification, but you're not covering certification at the time of recording this. But as I said, if you have some certifications, come and speak to my team. We might probably refer you to other program related to certification, but it's purely on actual implementation and job. And trust me, employers, between hiring someone who is just certified or someone who is just hands-on lab and project based, they will always hire someone who is just hands-on and project over the certification. So I'm not against certification, but I'm just saying that focus must first on hands-on and practical implementation. Certification will come automatically, and if you bring any agent certification comes, we'll definitely include it. Now, uh, can this program be beneficial if I want to transition to AI, machine learning, data science related jobs? Absolutely, because pretty much everyone who's implementing AI, they're doing it through AI agents. Absolutely. Now, what kind of a support you're available? So as I said, we have two support channel, WhatsApp and ticketing system. We also have 24/7 support, sorry, 12 by 5 support week, roughly on 12 hours, more than enough. On weekends, we have live interactive sessions. You can ask questions. Again, 12 is I'm talking about conservative side. We have a team who have a team of around 80 plus full-time employees, and we have around 200 plus freelancers who will be helping and supporting you. We have a community where other members can help 24 by 7, or my team will be helping on pretty much almost all the time that you might be seeing. So yes, there'll be support. Also, there is a doubt removal sessions. We make sure that everyone gives a 5-star rating because we're covered by, if you don't get a result, you can ask for money back. That's why not just because you ask on money back, that's why we're doing good. We want to get the best experience so that you get the best result and come back again 2 years, 3 years in future and down the line. Now, are there any related resources like labs, forums, communities? Yes, we do have. We're going to point you inside the program. So we have a student community or the ex-alumni. So we'll be learning from them, but we'll be sharing some more material as well. Now, how's the feedback provided on assignment or project throughout the program? Yes, you'll be having you maintain a progress diary. You'll be performing those and updating your work so that the trainers, moderators, experts will give you the feedback on those, and will be peers review as well as other members who are giving you or the project is doing. Now, uh, now, how long is the time commitment? So as I said, it's probably, first of all, I never count number of days or hours or sessions. Objective is for that whatever you have committed, you should be able to learn it well. Typically, 12 weeks are more than enough. I think 8 weeks are more than enough, but sometimes we take extra time because of the projects and so on. So 12 to 14 weeks, but you don't need to wait for 12 to 14 weeks. Everything is available immediately. You can start learning immediately. Probably I will say 3 to 4 hours weekend and maybe 1 hour on a weekday. So around 10 to 15 hours. You can reduce if you're not ready to spend that much time. That's totally fine. You can do reduce and extend the extend the time period. Or you can say I want to do quickly. You can do as quickly as in a weeks or 2 weeks as well. But some of the things in that case you have to learn on your own as well. But we'll be there to support and help and guide you. So learn. In my view, I try to learn quickly everything, but learn at your own pace and do objective is for you to become an expert in this. Now, is there any option of self-paced learning for more structured schedule? Yes, absolutely. So we have a self-paced. You can learn at your own pace. Everything is available laid down. Let me pause this and show it to you. How does that portal look like? Um, so this is where the portal look like on behind the scene. So this is all modules and they were broken down to a module, different modules, and then you see all the projects, bonus modules. These are the labs which are going to be labs on very detailed videos on each of these. How do you perform? How do you do? And this was talking about we are going to use a notebook on Jupyter Notebook, and we're going to use Google Colab to perform. But you can do on your own development environment if you're good if you're good developer. If you want to do development, also there'll be question answer. If you hit any problems, you can refer here, and there'll be a recording available for you, so you can watch all these things at your own pace as well. Now, can I balance this program with full time, or I need to be allocate full time hours? Definitely you can work with full time. In fact, we recommend you to work with your full time job on this so that you get paid to learn all these things. Plus, you can learn quickly as well. So yes, it's designed to be working in and to be you can learn on while working. Absolutely. Now, program cost and return of investment is that how does the cost of program compare to the value and potential in salary increase in AI related job roles? I've already mentioned that you can the AI jobs are pretty much 45% or 47% get higher paid on AI. You probably already know that. I'm not allowed to do any guarantees. I'm not allowed to also make any salary claims which could be not right. But what I can tell you is that our guys have earned in excess of 200, 300, 400,000 as well. But it depends, the actual earning and salary will be depending on your years of experience, also the region in which you're working, also on the kind of technologies you're working and how much experience you have and how do you speak and how do you confidently talk about the interviews. We have a separate program where we teach and guide you on those things, but this is something you can that's totally possible and doable. But one thing I can assure you is if you're going to learn this with us, you're going to definitely earn much, much higher than someone who has not done it or not done with us. So these are the different some salary depending on experience level, location, industry wise and company wise. But we have guys and we've tons and tons of guys who've gone from anything from $100,000 to $300,000 in excess of that in US and US, Canada, UK as well. So, but again, at the same time, I don't want to make any income claims. and which I don't want to promise and tell you it is, because that will be unfair on my part. I hope that makes sense. Also, are there any ongoing cost on any cloud service or AI tools? Now, 99% of these labs are free. There are certain charges, very, very minimal charges, anything from, for example, for APIs, if you're doing maybe just under a couple of cents, you'll be charging for that. So also similarly, some of the cloud services are free, some of the cloud services are charged, but they're very, very nominal fees because they go on a pay-as-you-go model, and our labs are very, very tiny. When I say tiny in terms of the kind of resources you have to use will be tiny on, because we'll be only doing practical testing implementation point of view. So anything you can do probably around $5 to $10, or maybe under $10, you'll be able to perform these labs. We are going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to shut down the services if you're using and if you're building, especially on cloud, AWS Azure cloud. Other Google Colab labs are, you're going to pay per user basis, which is cents on, and maybe like very, 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 very cheap. You should be able to perform everything, every lab under $10. All cloud, some of the more advanced labs or projects you might be doing, couple of, again, maybe a few dollars, but it's very, very cheap. Just wanted to highlight that. I hope that I was able to complete all. I just want to recap with this as saying that the program is very, very detailed. I put in a lot of spend a lot of time and energy into this. I want to have the best program possible. And if you don't think it's worth, all as I said is I cover. That's why I say full money back guarantee, and that's why I lead with that as well. As long as you do the work and you've spent time, energy on this, attend the sessions, complete the hands-on lab and project, and if you think it's not worth, you have 60 days to try out, full money back guarantee. That's how confident I am. And as I said, I want to recap with finally, these are the guys who got value, and you should be. Dinesh, as I said at the start, and read it out, he came initially back in, I think, for cloud. He was at Oracle background to cloud, and then gone into AI, found value. Another one, Shrija, SJ, Dinesh. Um, Again, as I said, with all different backgrounds, Winfred, Daniel, Vaishali, Obina, tons and tons of guys have, and there's no reason why you shouldn't get it as well. So uh, the price, everything that is mentioned below the video where you're watching that, there'll be link there. There'll be also those bonuses are probably limited time. So we want to highlight that as well. The bonuses that we do, which is Python, is our and these bonuses we might decide to take them off and build in the separate program as well. So if you have any other questions, they'll be linked. Oh, by the way, finally is how to register. There'll be link below. And if you have any questions, there should be chat or reach out to my team on WhatsApp, k29academy.com/WhatsApp. With that, Atul, thanks for watching this. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, do let me know. Also watch this video, the document. I will be constantly updating this to enhance the program. And take care. With that, Atul from Team K29 Academy, thanks for listening. Take care and bye for now.